Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a simple box using the very beautiful little lace stamp set, some Wink of Stella and some pretty ribbons. It's one of my favourite things to do is to stamp and use Wink of Stella to make the colour bleed. And I also like to make boxes, as you know. And I've got lots of people who have been in touch recently and said, I'm a new stamper and I'm a new crafter. I like to make your boxes. They feel too complicated and I don't know about adding DSP. So I wanted to strip it back a little bit and take it simple for you. So here's the stamp set. It's doing all of the work for you. That is huge. And that is, well, this part here is one stamp and that's another one. And that's the same one repeated. And it's just about the beauty of the stamps and what you can do from it. So like I said, I wanted to make a simple box for you, or bag, whichever way you want to word it. Box, bag, thing, treat, carrier, all sorts of terminology. So, piece of cardstock, 8 by 11 inches, which is 20 by 28.5 centimetres. So again, if you're somebody who's new to me or new to box making or crafting, in my particular videos, in the description bar that's down underneath the video, when you click that open, you've got lots of links there to my Instagram, my Facebook, my shop and everything, but also to this specific blog project. So not just my blog in general, but this actual project. And when you look in that, you will see the video is again embedded in there and all of the measurements are written underneath that. So you can watch the video and see the measurements. And obviously by the fact that it's a video, you can pause and replay however much you like. Okay. 8 by 11 inches, 20 by 28.5 centimetres. We're going to score the short side first. So score it at 2 inches, which is 5 centimetres. Then on the long side, we're going to do full scores and part scores. Fully score it at 2, 5 1/4, 7 1/4, and 10.5 inches, which in metric is 5, 13.5, 18.5 and 27. Then we're going to do some part scores, which is going to give us this part here. We're going to score part way down. So if you're using a scoring board like mine, you can see that there are measurements on the side. So you're looking for around 4.5 inches down. So about 21, 22 centimetres down is where you're looking. Just put your finger there and that will be your place where you stop, and you're going to score down at the 1 inch mark down to there. So it just simply stops. Take your finger, walk it along, and at 6 1/4 do exactly the same. So in metric you're doing this part score at 2.5 and 16 centimetres. Then with that part score we're going to use a ruler and score from there to there and there to there. So where this bisects. There we go. So from there down to there and there down to there. And this will take your box to hero level just by doing this little extra step. If you were using paper, you perhaps wouldn't need to do that because paper is less resistant and it's a bit more pliable. But cardstock obviously doesn't like to be told what to do. Or rather, it likes to be told exactly what to do. It doesn't like being given its own free rein. And our cardstock is particularly amazing quality, so you do kind of need to go, okay, let's tell it what to do. Right, so before I start burnishing, what I want to do is start stamping. So we've got a panel here with a little triangle, a wide bit, another triangle, a wide bit and a skinny bit. This wide part here and the skinny is going to be the back. So obviously I want to stamp on the front, which is this wide panel here with triangles either side. So the front has got triangles either side. So let me grab my 2 stamps that I'm going to use, which is my big one and my little one. Love this stamp set. Absolutely beautiful. Going to get a nice big block. This is an E block. I would say are perhaps most versatile blocks, or the ones that I would use most frequently, are C and D. So I'm going to pick up a C here, but C and D, if you're looking to consider which colours, which blocks to work with, C and D would be a very good place to start. You couldn't quite get that on there, but as a great starter. Okay, this is Seaside Spray, Night of Navy. Same tones, very much a different colour. And ink up well. And I want my little swirls to be facing downwards. So, press firmly. Beautiful image. And then I'm going to take this one here and put a little bit of a ways above. And that one there. And what I'm going to do is zoom in so that you can see me making this colour bleed. So Wink of Stella is magical stuff. It's beautiful. It's glitter encased in stuff. That is so not technical. I don't know what the stuff is, but it's magical in that it will move ink around. And our inks are water-based, so it moves them around. It's like a faux watercolour wash, and it leaves glitter behind. So hopefully, yes, you can see the difference. And all I'm doing is moving the ink that has been placed with the stamped image. Nothing more than that. And I absolutely adore this effect. I think it's the image, a little lace stamped image is beautiful on its own. This just lifts it to another level, I think. So that's my big flower done. I'm going to do this one here. And it's like magic. I've done this technique many times, particularly in cards. Not massively often that I put it into video. So I thought I'd do that, and then I'm going to do the same with these two here. And all of the colour is in that centre part, so I'm picking it up from the centre and just moving it around. Isn't that pretty? Just sort of changes it. The difference between those two is huge. And obviously this works with any images that you use. And now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella pen, and I'm just swiping off any excess of that Night of Navy ink. And it means that that is good to go for another time. Okay, so I'll zoom back out. Right, let's burnish this box. Get it all set up and ready to pull together. I burnish with a bone folder, mostly because I get a decent image, and although I've got long nails and I could crease like that, the risk of there being ink or whatever on my fingers is quite huge, and you just get a good finish like that. Okay, don't worry about these part scores, they're going to come together and form naturally for you. So, little bits to take away. So again, we've got our image like that. Oh, that's the doorbell and there's nobody in the house. Well, that was the longest pause in history. I've just been paused for about 4 hours. I forgot one of my children was coming back from his grandparents and they've just arrived. So, right, we're now snipping away this small rectangle that's on the right hand side, and I mited a tiny little bit at the top, and that's so you get this nice professional close there. And these panels here, when it's a rectangle, you keep straight and you wedge into squares. So cut straight down the rectangle, wedge into the squares. Okay, and the same on this one as well. Right, so it's all cut like that. So I'm going to run some adhesive down here. So I'm going to use Seal Plus, which is a nice strong glue, like that. Fold in the 2 panels at the side and the back, and some more Seal Plus here. And that closes it up. And so these part scores here, when you push them with your fingers either side, the part scores naturally form in, and that triangle has given a perfect finish. How brilliant is that? By doing those steps earlier, I'm just grabbing a couple of pegs. By doing this step here means that you get this lovely neat close. So I'm just pegging it to keep it shut. And then I've got some Night of Navy ribbon. This is a trio from, I want to call it Playful Patterns. Playful Patterns. And you get 3 ribbons. You get this one, an ombre purple posy, and then a coastal cabana. And just cut off the end. That's far too much, but I'm a bit hopeless at tying bows. So I really am absolutely shockingly bad at bow tying. Oh. There we go. And then get my good scissors to cut a bit off the ends. And that, I think, is an utterly charming box. And actually, given that it's now been dried literally for about 3 hours while I've visited with Mum and Dad, you can see the glitter all there. And you can also hear all my family. I've just said to them, I'm going to finish filming this video. So there we go. Aren't they lovely? Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.